Here we go, guys. What's going on, y'all? We're here at TP 2026. We're here at Mazaya. We're here with Eli Malouf. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Welcome, Kareem. Good to see you guys. We're here at the Mazaya booth at TBE 26. I'm very looking forward to having this conversation with Kareem. It's a long time coming, and let's see how it goes.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Ali, it was a pleasure to meet you. And you're representing Mazaya. Mazaya became a recognizable name in a crowded market. What did you do differently that actually made people choose your product?
Well, to start, first thing that we wanted to do is before we even put anything as far as marketing or branding together, we wanted to think about more like of a community and a long-term plan. It's not a short-term plan, not just like make an account and then we're gonna push tobacco and this is my flavors, buy my flavors. So first thing we did is instead of calling the account, for example, Mazaya USA, we decided to go with something more towards community. We decided to go with official Mazaya family. And everything was branded about the official Mazaya family. Even when we first started, there's no content, there's nothing there to show, but still the account say family. And we started building the content, started building the community around Mazaya. So instead of promoting Mazaya as a tobacco brand, we start focusing more on the community part of it, the involvement with the local businesses and the community and the engagement. And that's how slowly it started, thank God, growing, and the family becomes bigger and bigger.
Very beautiful. It's almost like saying that the hookah, or even just representing it, is a family, right? It's about community. It's about diaspora.
The Mazaya slogan is better together. So anyone who's familiar with the hookah and smokes hookah, hookah is like a shared activity. We're Middle Eastern, so in our background, we sit around, we eat, we smoke hookah. Family comes together, you play cards, you have a hookah. So our slogan, better together, how we decided to brand it as it was official Mazaya family, it all came together. And if you look at our content, you see it's not just the name family, like the actual content is family and community.
That's beautiful.
What do you believe that the biggest misconception about tobacco specifically, or the hookah in the industry, maybe worldwide or as a whole?
So maybe go back to the first point I said, as far as community, anything in moderate, anything you do excessive of is not good, whether it's hookah or drinking or whatever activity you do or eat, or it's not good. But the idea of the hookah, it brings people together. It's you smoke hookah in moderation is good. If you go crazy on the hookah, so some people have the idea of anything hookah or anything whatever is bad. But for me, anything's bad if you do it in excess. Anything in moderation, that you do, I think that would be the best way to go about it. So I think that would be the biggest. Some people have an idea, oh, hookah's bad, smoking is bad in general, which is to each its own. But anything's done in moderation, I think it would be the way to go.
I believe that the misconception, you're right, that people, when they think of hookah, they think of smoking as very bad, right? Everything has volume numbers. It's about being responsible, not overdoing it, and obviously being smart, It's not something that's supposed to harm you, but if you do it too much, it will harm you. And that's something that we don't want people to get sick from hookah, of course. Of course not. We want people to come together, enjoy the experience, enjoy the vibe that comes with it. That's really the truth.
What's the decision that you made for Mazaya and Element maybe that was risky at the time, but ended up being the right move?
So when it comes to Mazaya, I think the biggest risk or big step we did was in marketing, and that's how we actually got to meet each other. We put a lot of effort into marketing. We put a lot of effort into being very active on the ground. So the focus of the business in the beginning was all marketing and less sales. Promote, engaged, samples out, be engaged in the community. Obviously, it takes a lot of financial commitment. So a lot of people may be not willing to put that financial risk because you're looking more of, I want to get sales, I want to get sales. So we kind of took a different approach that because we're thinking about the business on the long term, and God willing, anything you put your effort and you really pursue it and put passion in it will come back. So that's kind of, as far as the financial risk, that was the biggest risk in spending maybe a year and a half, just full promotion and marketing and being engaged all over USA.
To answer myself, obviously as a hookah catering, the overhead that we had to be responsible for was the overall launch of the business. I don't think we're dealing in volume or numbers that a tobacco brand is doing. But for us, the most important thing was outreach, to reach out to the people that we want to work with and having them understand and open up that dialect to wanting to better ourselves and to help them help ourselves. It's a beneficial partnership all around for sure.
And you guys mentioned earlier that you both are Middle Easterns. How much of this business is actually about the tobacco, and how much is it about the culture, maybe the identity or your lifestyle as Middle Easterns as well?
A big part of our culture, we get together, family, we play cards together, we eat together, we like to support each other. So yeah, we grew up people smoking. It's kind of part of how we grew up, but also like for me, as far as Mazaya, it brings people together. We're not just like, when we deal with business, it's not just like, hey, transaction, buy my tobacco. We look at it more of a partnership. We support small businesses. We try to add value in kind of any business that we go to, and it's not just like a transaction of sales and take this and so that's how we approach it. And we've, over the last 3 years, we've built so many great relationships with small business owners and big business owners, because when we come in as a brand Mazaya and we do an activation or do an event or provide our product, besides the product, we're adding value to the business and we're supporting, and obviously they're supporting us at the same time.
Repeat the question for me, please, just so I.
What's the harder? Yeah. How much of this business is actually about the tobacco, or in your case, about the service? And how much of it is it about the culture, identity, or maybe the lifestyle?
I feel like every business, whether brand in the tobacco or like say for instance in the catering, there's different niches and different focuses, right? For us specifically, I focused on customer service, right? Customer service is very important because building that relationship with the client, with the vendors, makes it human, right? And that's what we want. The tobacco, working with big partners and different brand partners, it's really about serving what the consumer wants and understanding to cater to their needs. So it's very important, but culturally, hookah is part of, beyond Palestinian ethnically, and Lebanese. It's part of our identity, so it's not something that could be taken away from us. It's something that speaks volume for who we actually are. You know what I mean?
And you were talking earlier about the whole marketing process, about like in Mazaya. What's the hardest part about building one of, if not the biggest tobacco brand in the world, where advertising, perception, and regulations are constantly working against you?
Yes, unfortunately, when it comes to the quote unquote algorithm, when it comes to like social media platforms, any advertising for tobacco is prohibited. But a way for us to go around it is really, we're very engaged with the end consumer, our family. So we're able to reach them directly, and from basically word of mouth, sharing content, doing tasting events, being on the ground. That like, instead of coming from the top down, it's coming really more, the customers are showing the interaction. So that's kind of helped us out a lot when it comes to like social media engagement and reaching more people, because we're reaching directly the end consumer, and the end consumer is having like a great kind of interaction with us and they're liking the experience. So they're helping us spread the word and share with their friends. But if we wanted to like depend more of a kind of a social media advertising, unfortunately, that's very prohibited on all kind of the platforms.
No. Ellie spoke really well on it. We know that promotion of tobacco is shadow banned. So the best way to go about it is really community outreach, sending out those hundred of DMs and making sure you're able to connect, whether it's on a flavor or specifically a brand. You find that niche, just build community. It really is about community.
And if you go back to the beginning of Mazaya and the beginning of Element, what would you do differently? And what mistake cost you probably the most?
For me, one of the things that we could have done better, I think, when it's like marketing tied to sales. For example, there's a lot of, because we are nationwide, there's a lot of instances where people have reached out to us and they're interested in the product, they're interested in trying, but that specific market didn't have the product available. So one is, it's a disappointment for me to have to tell someone it's not available, or we don't have it, or I'll get back to you. And also disappointing from a point where like you're putting the effort into marketing and you see like people want it, but like you can't get it to them. So I think going forward, and the last few months, we've been kind of like more focused on not specific areas, but like when we're focusing, we're doing marketing activities or activations, like making sure that the product is available, the tobacco is available, the hookahs are available. That way, when the consumer is asking for it, we could easily recommend your closest outlet to get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for myself, the one thing or the one approach I wish I had taken was, pushing harder on marketing as well. Being in LA, specifically in Southern California, there's 120 hookah caters alone, maybe within a 5 mile range. So it's understanding that each one of us create and offer something different from one another. So pushing our brand in terms of marketing would have been something I wish I'd taken earlier on, but I'm happy we're at that approach now and growing on that.
And speaking of separating, what do you think separates brand that becomes a trend from brands that actually become part of the culture?
That's a good one. United States is a huge. The business we're in is very tough. There's a lot of people in the industry. There's a lot of people that come in and leave and able to like stay in the business and stay in the industry. It takes a lot of effort. Obviously, it takes a lot of commitment. Most of the people that know me personally, I don't have any weekends off. I don't have any days off. 24/7, 7 days a week. So it really takes a lot of time and effort. It's very easy for someone to come in and do some kind of traction, but to be able to handle a whole market, to handle 52 states, to handle tens of thousands of resellers and lounges, and from my perspective, it's a lot of work. So I think that what separates, and also people like end consumer knows. You could see something like growing fast, but then all of a sudden it dies off, and you see people that have been consistent and engaged and doing activities all over the country and doing activities with different demographics and different like the end consumer for me, they see it and they appreciate it. So the end consumer, when you see someone like pushing hard for a little bit and they disappear, and the company has been consistent and communicative and very engaged in the community, they know like this is a brand to trust, or this is a brand that I want to be associated with.
Absolutely. Eddie touched on it very well. Again, it comes down to it. Being a trendsetter or setting the example for the industry is understanding what it is, whether the product is great, but also the marketer, and taking that community outreach. So there's so many different ways to go about it, but setting trends or setting industry standards comes from years of dedication, hard work, months. You said it yourself. When's the last time you had a day off?
Never.
So respectfully, you are the biggest enemy you face every day is the man in the mirror. So in order to become something successful, you want to become a trend. Whether it's a cheesy little video or it's doing something as funny as making a meme out of it, it's truly elevating the experience. And again, without a doubt, Mazaya speaks for itself. A very well-respected brand, great products. We're very excited to add it to the Element line, and stay tuned, y'all. It's going to be very exciting.
And last question for both of you, Element and Mazaya. Where do you see your brand going off in 10, maybe in the next 20 years?
God willing, the biggest brand in the world.
There we go. Oh. That's good. Oh, inshallah, we wish all the best for Mazaya. For Element as a hookah catering, the goal is obviously to scale all over, whether through Southern California or nationwide, but to offer that service and that customer service and that customer relationship. That's what we hope for Game. So 20 years down the line, whether we're in every state or in every country, we don't know, but it's very exciting for me. For the 20 years that I look forward to from this industry that I've been in, it's really about building the relationships, whether it's at a project in this industry and a project in another industry. It's definitely about networking and making that relationship. So again, I appreciate you, Eddie. Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep out for Mazaya at TPE. If you're still here, make a stop. We'll be around.
See you guys.
Perfect.